Welcome to the Northgate Church podcast from the heart of Chester in the UK.
Emma, John 10, what's it all about? Let's, has anyone got the lollipop? No? Oh, no, there you go. Yeah, you're on. So what does John 10 tell us?
Well, I'm not going to preach on it, I'll just read it.
Oh, here's your nose. I'm sure you could do it.
I am the good shepherd. The good shepherd puts the sheep before himself, sacrifices himself if necessary. A hired man is not a real shepherd. The sheep mean nothing to him. He sees a wolf come and run for it, leaving the sheep to be ravaged and scattered by the wolf. He's only in it for the money. The sheep don't matter to him. I am the good shepherd. I know my own sheep, and my own sheep know me. In the same way, the Father knows me, and I know the Father. I put the sheep before myself, sacrificing myself if necessary. You need to know that I have other sheep in addition to those in this pen. I need to gather and bring them too. They'll also recognize my voice. Then it will be one flock, one shepherd. This is why the Father loves me, because I freely lay down my life, and I am so free to take it up again. No one takes it from me. I lay it down of my own free will. I have the right to lay it down. I also have the right to take it up again. I received this authority personally from the Father.
Thank you very much indeed. Wow, wasn't that a wonderful rendition there? Can you just put a picture up of my little pet in my garden? Have you got it? It's coming. When I was, my earliest toy was a little pet sheep. It was about this big, and I loved it's a little lamb. I loved my little lamb. And I've still got it. It's years old now. I was going to bring it, but I've kind of misplaced it in the move. But anyway, I've got another one, and it's in the garden. Just click on the picture, and it will come up. Well, we've got 4 people at the back looking for it. Have we got it? Well, it is vital for the next... Oh, there we go! This is... Well, I couldn't find my old one, so I've got a new one now. So, this is my pet little sheep. Now, lamb. But it hasn't got a name. So, could someone shout some names out that we can name this little lamb? Lammy. Oh, Lammy's a good one. Bob the sheep. What? Edwin. Bob. Any more? Larry. Lazarus, because he's come back. Hezekiah. Well, that's a good one. Ayla. Wow. Finally, a girl lamb. We've had 2 Bobs. So, shall we... There's a couple more over here. Tristan. Oh, I think there's something... It was Lily. Tristan. Fred. Wow. Okay. Mint sauce, says Guy. This is a family show.
Sorry.
Fluffy. Wow. Well, I've already got a fluffy sheep somewhere here. So what should we go? We've had 2 Bobs. Shall we go with Bob the lamb? Bobby the lamb. Okay. Now, he was in my garden, but he's gone missing. I brought him here, and he's gone missing. And I know he's somewhere in this room. I've been trying to listen for him. So all the kids, can you go in the room and listen? I've lost Bobby and Fluffy. Now Fluffy is a maid sheep, a little lamb that I've made beforehand. So he's about this big, and Fluffy's about this big. So go and look for Fluffy and Bobby somewhere in this room. And it's not in the back rooms or anything like that. And it's not here. It's the final. Oh, Omid has found Fluffy. Would one of the kids bring Fluffy down? Oh, and you have found Bobby. Well done. Hang on, come here. There's an egg there. And who has got... There we go. There's an egg for you. So here we have... Bobby. So, if they were lost and they were making a sound, so kids, what sound would they make? I think Guy was making one beforehand. Oh, have you ever been in a field of sheep where they all go? Bah. So let's make that sound all over the room then. What does a sheep go? Keep going. There. So, do you know how God looks down on us? And we are a bit like that, aren't we? With our bleating and whatever. But that's very good. Now, I tell you what. Let's run the video. Let's run the video next. You may need some help at the back, eh? Let's turn the lights down and we're going to look at the Good Shepherd and have a little video about it.
Jesus, the Good Shepherd. It was a sunny day. Simon jumped out of bed, excited.
Come on, Sarah, it's a lovely day. Let's go for a walk on the hills. Hey, wait for me. I'm coming.
Don't forget your lunch.
The children loved walking on the hills.
There are a lot of sheep in the field today. Oh, Derek. Look, Simon, there's the shepherd. What do you think he's looking for? I don't know. Maybe he's counting all his sheep, checking that they are all safe. Oh, look! What's happened?
The shepherd had seen one of his lambs fall over the edge of the cliff into a deep ravine. He ran over and looked down. The lamb had landed on a ledge a little way down, just out of reach.
Oh no! Thank goodness. Wasn't it good that the shepherd was watching so carefully over his sheep? And he wanted to keep them all safe, even that little baby lamb.
The children walked on up the hillside.
Wow, so many people. Sarah, look, there's Jesus.
Simon and Sarah remembered how good it was to be with Jesus last time. They wanted to get closer to him, but there were so many people around him. Then Jesus looked up and saw them.
Let the little children come to me. Don't stop them. For the kingdom of heaven belongs to those who are like these children.
Jesus noticed us children. Sarah, don't you think he is like that shepherd we saw today who cares about every single one of his sheep? Yes, he even noticed that little boy. Come on, Simon, I'll race you down the hill.
Some deep truth in that. There's some good truth in that. And it just shows how much, so they allude to it, that the Good Shepherd cares for each and every one of us, whether we're very small or very tall, whether we're very young or in our latter years. The Good Shepherd looks after all of us. And it says he knows us by name. That's why I wanted us to name the sheep, because the Good Shepherd knows us by name. If we could have the lights on, and we're going to call on our own shepherd, Shepherd Gray. Shepherd Gray, come on down. Can we have the lights on a bit? So I'm going to ask all the kids out. So this is Shepherd Gray, and in the Bible it says the people, the shepherd knows the sheep. He hears their voice, but also the sheep can hear the voice of the shepherd and recognizes the voice of the shepherd. And shepherd is really important. They do as the shepherds say, because otherwise they'll end up.
They'll go astray. They'll be off, won't they, Gerald?
They will. They will be off, and so will your stick.
Okay. So, all the children, do you want to come up and join me? I think all the adults need to get up on your feet as well, because I think everybody needs to join in this one.
Yeah.
Okay. So we're going to play a game of Shepherd Says. Okay. So you've got to listen very carefully to what I say. So when I ask you to do something, you've got to follow my instructions. But if I don't say shepherds, if I don't say,
Simon says.
it's like Simon says, yes, well done, Rubes. So if I don't say shepherd says, you've got to stand still. I'm going to watch if you're listening carefully whether you get it. Right, I'm probably going to have to go over here.
If somebody does it when you doesn't say that word, that means that.
Oh, they're out. I don't know if I'm going to be that harsh, but let's see. Okay, let's warm up. Okay, so shepherd says, run on the spot as fast as you can. Oh, very good, very good. Shepherd says, kneel on one leg. I appreciate not everyone can do that. We can just bop down. We can just bop down. That's okay. All right. Shepherd says, oh, flap your arms like they are wings. Watching the person next to you. Just mind out. Mind out. Okay. Thank you. Maybe I could just put my shepherd's crook down for a second. Might make it easier. Okay. Shepherd says, brush your teeth. Make a silly face. Shepherd didn't say it. You should still be brushing your teeth. Oh, watching. Shepherd says, wiggle your nose. Wiggle your fingers like little worms. Shepherd didn't say it. I got some adults out then as well. Shepherd says, do some jumping jacks. Adults, you can just clap your arms. It's okay. Shepherd says, move like a robot. Kneel on one leg. Got ya. Shepherd says, put your right hand on your left knee and your left hand on your right ear. Sorry about that one. That was a bit complicated. Shepherd says, draw a square in the air. Shepherd says, act sleepy. Put your toe to your head. I didn't know no one's going to even try that anyway, are they? Shepherd says, act like a monkey. Shepherd says, walk like a penguin. Bar like a sheep. I got you again. Shepherd says, pretend you're driving like a race car driver. Shepherd says, make a silly face. Shepherd says, dance like you think nobody's watching you. Okay, walk backwards. Oh, who wasn't listening? Okay, let's do one more. Shepherd says, pretend to throw a ball as far as possible. Shepherd says, tap your head and rub your tummy at the same time. Turn around. Do you know what? You guys are getting so good at this because you're listening to the shepherd's voice. Fantastic. Right, you can all go and sit down.
Thanks, Rach. So, we have got Fluffy the sheep here, and we're going to put him in the field in a minute later. But he is going to need... Where's the rest of the flock? Well, the rest of the flock are in pieces. And it's up to you to put them back together again. Okay? So, for everyone who wants to, and there's about 30 sets, you need one body.
Yeah, that's easy.
That's easy. There's a body. You need... Not two heads. Oh. So you need one of those. You need one hairpiece to go on the top. So you'll see like that. You will need... How many eyes will you need? 75. I think somebody's been reading Ezekiel in the Bible. So we have 2 eyes, and how many legs? 4. And then we stick that together, and then we get the fluffy bit, and we stick them on. One on the top of the head, and a couple on the body, okay? So while we have a look at... While I have a little chat with some of the other people, if you want to make these, so we've got Pritt Stick, we've got some PVA glue, which may be a disaster, but anyway, this is what you're trying to create. Let's just make one to begin with. So it's one body, one face, one hairpiece, 2 eyes, 4 legs, and 6 or 7 fluffy bits. Yeah, with the PVA glue, I think just... Yeah. And then I also want you to... don't forget, you must name your sheep, because all the sheep are known by name by the Good Shepherd. Well, we'll just get this going, and then we'll have a little reflection. Now, if there's some over, some of the grown-ups can make fluffy sheep as well. I know some of you are itching to have a go. So if you do want, if there are some left... Hey, I just apologise right now. In the rush, I thought we had some gluten-free communion wafers still in the cupboard, but apparently they're gone past their sell-by date, and like good stewards, they had been thrown out. So I do apologise for that. And we didn't get the non-alcoholic wine out in time, so we shall learn our lesson from that and do better next time. Okay. Okay. All right, Casey, if you can make that relatively quietly. Oh, I don't need both, do I? So at the end, we're going to put all the flock of sheep onto the board, like Joe has put Fluffy on the board already. So we should put them on the board. So Emma, that was a great rendition of John 10, and we're just going to have a look at, just very briefly, some of the themes and images from John 10. So, if you can just hear me above, this is family, isn't it? This is just family. But the passage in John 10 just gives us some insights into Jesus' character and his relationship, calls himself the Good Shepherd, his relationship with us. And I don't know if you know, but if you've been a Christian a long time or even a short time, I find the image of God being my shepherd, who cares for me and knows me through and through, it's a very comforting one, isn't it? It can bring solace in times of desperation and confusion and inspiration as well. And it's done that for countless believers throughout history. I just want to understand the context of John 10, 11 to 18. The passage is part of something a lot bigger. And Lynn, you've been looking into John, haven't you, of late? But in the ancient Near East, shepherds were absolutely vital figures. And they've been responsible for the safety and well-being of their flocks. Now, I know some of the brothers who've come over from Iran, they've been shepherds in the hills of Iran. So I've had to talk with a couple of them about that. But they were responsible for the safety and well-being of all the flocks, which was so vital to the community. So the image of God as a good shepherd is rooted in the Old Testament. And, of course, Psalm 23, which was read out at the beginning, is a prime example. But by identifying Jesus himself as the Good Shepherd, Jesus is connecting his overall mission, his kingdom mission, to this very rich tradition of shepherding in order to reveal his divine purpose. So Jesus says, I am the Good Shepherd. The Good Shepherd lays down his life for his sheep. Now we think, yes, the Good Shepherd does lay down his life for the sheep. It's part of the fundamentals of our Christian belief that the Good Shepherd has indeed, with sacrifice, laid down his life for all of us. And it says here, it sets apart that Jesus is not a mere hired hand who works for wages and then flees at the very first sight of danger. What is great is the Good Shepherd is characterized by several kind of really important things of sacrifice, knowledge of the sheep, and protecting the sheep. So as he said, Jesus' ultimate act of love was his willingness to lay down his life for his sheep, for each of us. But sacrifice is actually at the heart of Jesus' mission, which we are a part. We're not hired hands, but we're almost called to be like Jesus and be a good shepherd ourselves. Jesus stays and sacrifices himself to save us, and his crucifixion is the ultimate demonstration and testament to this love. So Jesus' willingness to lay down his life is not just a historical event that happened 2,000 years ago, but it's timeless. It's a timeless example of sacrificial love. The love is selfless. That is the message of the Christian. God is love. Love is sacrificial. Love is selfless, which puts the needs of other people over and above the needs of our own. Maybe just think about moments in your life when you've perhaps witnessed or experienced sacrificial love. Can you think of any? Well, some of the obvious ones, a parent working tirelessly for their children. That is sacrificial. Is parenting sacrificial? Sacrifice, sleep, money, doing what you want to do, not being able to go to the pub when you want. Parenting is sacrificial. Or a friend. If you've got a friend who's going through some very difficult things, a friend who sticks with them no matter what. Maybe there's somebody who stood alongside you in very difficult times. These examples, they echo the love of the Good Shepherd, which we're called to be. We're called to be like the Good Shepherd. So it challenges us to go beyond self-interest and serve others even when it's difficult. And true leadership is demonstrated by Jesus, is marked by a willingness to sacrifice for the well-being of others. If you just look around some of the values we've got here, some of them kind of link into that whole character of Jesus being the Good Shepherd, of kindness, generosity, acceptance, love, belonging, being inclusive, showing grace, walking alongside people, being practical in our help for other people. It says that Jesus says, I'm the Good Shepherd, I know my sheep, and my sheep know me. And this intimate knowledge, this close knowledge of us, reflects that deep personal relationship between the shepherd and the sheep. What God wants between himself and us. It's that deep personal relationship. God is not afar off. He is not a judge. He is not a man of anger. But God is a God of love and acceptance and of grace. He knows us intimately. He knows our dreams. I think we sang about it beforehand. I love that song that you sang from Kids' Church. He knows our fears. He knows our dreams and our struggles. He knows our challenges, our everyday challenges, and some of the dire circumstances that we're in. He understands betrayal and when we feel betrayed by other people. He understands grief when we're going through those very, very dark times. So this knowledge of us isn't distant. God isn't a distant God or abstract, but it's personal and profound. And being known by Jesus brings a huge amount of comfort. And, in this world, you can often feel more and more anonymous, lonely, or misunderstood. When you ring up customer services now, you barely can get through to a human being. You're isolated, it's all computerized, AI generated, and things like that. The whole of life seems to isolate us more and more. But Jesus acknowledges us that we are seen and valued. Do you know what people want? People coming into this church, whether in the UK or coming from overseas, people want to be seen, not just lumped together as a group. People, all of us, want to be seen and understood and valued. And cultivating a personal relationship with Jesus just involves spending time with him, in prayer, studying his word, just walking every day with that sense of God is with us and living according to his teaching, the teachings of the Bible, the teachings of Jesus, not what is just current fashion in society, but living according to his teachings. And just another critical role of the shepherd is protection. And Jesus contrasts himself with a hired hand. You know, someone, when the rough gets going, the tough gets going, the hired hand, he will just flee. But it says the good shepherd, however, stays and protects his flock. And that's good to remember that. We are not alone. God will protect us no matter what. Even at great personal risk, Jesus assures us that under his care, we are safe. And that is a really important thing to know. So this protection isn't just physical protection. And I know there are many testimonies where you've been protected physically. I know Lynn was just recounting to me yesterday how she felt God intervene on the streets of Paris when someone was attacking her down a dark road. But the presence of God came into that. Well, you say it was. You think the man saw an angel, wasn't it, Lynn, and fled. But the protection is spiritual and emotional. And we're told, well, Jesus guards our hearts and minds. I know we are also called to guard our own hearts and minds. But Jesus does offer that shalom peace, that deep peace that transcends, goes beyond understanding. And when we face life's storms, and we all do, be it illness, loss, uncertainty, a new phase of life, Jesus, our Good Shepherd, provides a refuge. He is that strong tower in which we can run in and be safe. So trusting in his protection helps us overcome fear. It can help us overcome fear that can grip us and help us live in confidence. There's that lovely hymn, through many dangers, toils and snares, I have already come. But he walks with us in the midst of us. And Jesus just finally, he speaks to other sheep that are not in his sheep pen yet. He says, I'm going to bring them also. They too will listen to my voice, and there shall be one flock and one shepherd. And do you know, this statement highlights Jesus' mission to all people. And in Chester, you know, the mission field of all nations is all in Chester. You know, with so many different nationalities now living together. And the mission field is here, that God wants us to reach all people because he wants to draw all people to himself. And his love is inclusive, transcending boundaries of race, nationality, and social status. And we are called to reflect this inclusive love. Our communities, and I trust our church here, church community, should be places where everyone feels welcome and valued. And sharing the message of the Good Shepherd involves reaching out to all those who come through our doors or who we meet on the front line of our lives, Monday to Sunday. And just to able to always be conscious of God with us and extending God's love and grace to all. So just in conclusion, we've looked at the image of Jesus as the Good Shepherd. And it's a powerful reminder of his sacrificial love, his intimate knowledge of us, and his unwavering protection. And it challenges us to really be examples, almost to embody these qualities in our own lives and to extend Jesus' inclusive love to others. So today, as we come towards the end, I encourage you all, wherever you are on your spiritual journey, to deepen your relationship with the Good Shepherd, to trust in his sacrificial love, embrace his intimate knowledge of you, and find peace, find deep, real peace in his protection. So from here, after tea and coffee, we will leave here inspired by the Good Shepherd to live lives of love, sacrifice, unity, and inclusivity. Amen. Amen.
Thanks for listening to the Northgate Church podcast. Find out more at northgate.org.uk or find us on social media by searching Northgate Church Chester.